morning and welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this town, this great town. And there's a lot of tense, pressure-filled times when you're mayor of Woodbridge, but something like today is not one of those times. This is a fun time when we get to swear in new police officers to the best police department in the entire state of New Jersey. Congratulations to all of the families. Congratulations, obviously, to the officers. It's not easy to get this job. It's actually very difficult. You've got to pass a test, you've got to take all kinds of exams, and you've got to really work your way through the system. And I think this time around, for every one we've hired, we probably didn't hire 5 others, which shows you how competitive this is, and which should make you all feel that much better as officers and as the family members of these officers. So today's going to be a lot of fun. I'd like to introduce the people who are joining us up here. To my right is our Police Director, Bob Hubner. To his right, Deputy Director Joe Niski. To his right, and I'm proud to announce, I think for the first time publicly today, that Scott Kuzma is the new Chief Law Enforcement Officer for Woodbridge Township, replacing Roy Hoppick, who retired a couple of weeks ago after a very long and distinguished career in Woodbridge. So congratulations to Scott on being the new Cleo. And we have 5 of our council people here. 5th Ward Councilwoman Debbie Meehan covering Colonia. 1st Ward Councilwoman Nancy Drum covering Woodbridge and Seawarren. Councilman Brian Small at large covering the whole town like I do. New Councilman Howie Bauer in 2nd Ward covering Ford, Soaplawn, and Caseby. And Councilman Greg Ficarra, also council at large. So we're about now ready to swear in our new 5 police officers. First up, Police Officer David Torres. Police Officer David Torres, 34, grew up in Staten Island and took up residence in Colonia in 2014. Officer Torres served in the U.S. Marine Corps from 2005 to 2011 and was deployed in Iraq as a tilt rotor airframe specialist mechanic. Don't know what that means, but it sounds difficult. Officer Torres received service awards and decorations for his active duty employment. Prior to being hired by the Woodbridge PD, Officer Torres was employed as a chemical technician at Procter & Gamble in Avenel. Mr. Mitch, our township clerk, will now swear in Officer Torres.
Sure, you go.
Do you, David Torres, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, that you will bear faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people? You will faithfully, impartially, and justly enforce all the laws and perform all the duties of the office of police officer according to the best of your ability, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
Congratulations, Bob.
Police Officer Stephen Joseph Kuzma. Police Officer Kuzma, 24, is a resident of the Island section of Woodbridge Township. Officer Kuzma graduated from John F. Kennedy Memorial High School in 2011. Following high school graduation, Officer Kuzma enlisted in the U.S. Army. During his enlistment, Officer Kuzma was deployed to Afghanistan and served as a military police officer. Officer Kuzma also received active duty deployment awards and decorations. Following his military service, Officer Kuzma enrolled in Kane College and continues work toward a degree in criminal justice. Mr. Mitch.
Do you, Stephen Kuzma, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, that you will bear faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people, and you will faithfully, impartially, and justly enforce all the laws and perform all the duties of the office of police officer according to the best of your ability, so help you God?
I do.
Congratulations, sir.
Police Officer Adam Romanowski. Police Officer Romanowski, 32, is a resident of Avenel. Officer Romanowski was born in Poland and immigrated to the United States with his family when he was 8 years old. After obtaining U.S. citizenship, Officer Romanowski served in the U.S. Marine Corps Reserve from 2005 to 2012 and was deployed to Iraq. Officer Romanowski received active duty awards and decorations upon completing his military deployment. Prior to being hired by the Woodbridge PD, Officer Romanowski served as a New Jersey State Corrections Officer. Mr. Mitch.
Do you, Adam Romanowski, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, that you will bear faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people, and you will faithfully, impartially, and justly enforce all the laws and perform all the duties of the office of police officer according to the best of your ability, so help you God?
I do.
Congratulations, sir.
Police Officer Owen Matthew Sharkey. Police Officer Owen Sharkey, 28, resides in the Island section of Woodbridge Township. Police Officer Sharkey graduated from JFK Memorial High School in 2008. Following graduation, Officer Sharkey served in the U.S. Army from 2010 to 2015 and was deployed to Afghanistan, where he served as a military police officer. Officer Sharkey received active duty awards and decorations upon completing his military deployment. Officer Sharkey currently serves in the United States Army Reserve. Prior to being hired by the Woodbridge Police Department, Officer Sharkey was a dispatcher at Ford's Fire Department, District 7. Mr. Mitch.
Do you, Owen Sharkey, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, that you will bear faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people, and you will faithfully, impartially, and justly enforce all the laws and perform all the duties of the office of police officer according to the best of your ability, so help you God?
I do.
Police Officer Jessenia Menzel. Did I pronounce that right?
Sir, yes, sir.
Police Officer Jessenia Menzel, 26, is a resident of Port Reading section of Woodbridge. Officer Menzel graduated from Woodbridge High School in 2009. After graduation, Officer Menzel served in the U.S. Army as a military police officer and was stationed at Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. During her service, Officer Menzel received active duty deployment awards and decorations. Officer Menzel continues to serve in the United States Army National Guard. Prior to being hired by the Woodbridge Police Department, Officer Menzel worked as a loss prevention officer for ShopRite. Mr. Mitch.
Do you, Jessenia Menzel, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, that you will bear faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people, and you will faithfully, impartially, and justly enforce all the laws and perform all the duties of the office of police officer according to the best of your ability, so help you God?
I do.
Congratulations.
Well, you heard the resumes, and all 5 of these individuals that are now Woodbridge Township police officers served our country and put themselves in harm's way. You heard me say Iraq, you heard me say Afghanistan, you heard me say Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. I just think that's remarkable. I get goosebumps reading things like that. We're a civil service town. A lot of towns aren't, where mayors can hire whoever they want for whatever reason they want. We are a civil service town, so we go through the process of the state test. And we like the fact that people have to compete and take that test. And we also allow a veteran's preference, which I think is very, very important. Because if these young men and women have committed themselves to this country and put themselves in harm's way, I think when they get back, they deserve a little edge and they deserve a little bump and a better chance to become a police officer in the town they grew up in. So it really makes me feel good. You heard Island, Port Reading, Woodbridge, all these 5 have Woodbridge roots, and I think that's just terrific. So congratulations. And remember, this is a very tough job to get. It's also a very easy job to lose. You've got to stay sharp. You've got to be on your game. You've got to do the right thing all the time. And I trust that you will, and I'm really thrilled that we're here today with so many people, so many family members to welcome these 5 officers to our township. But once again, thank you for your service to our country. I'd now like to ask Police Director Bob Hubner to say a few words.
Thanks, Mayor. I'd just like to congratulate each and every one of you. You're going to have an opportunity to work in a police department that has the absolute support of the mayor and council. Because of that support, you're going to have the opportunity to work with great equipment and receive great training and work with some of the best and finest men and women in law enforcement. You'll be graduating the academy on Wednesday. You'll probably hear it there. You may have heard it already. But one of the only things I can tell you is treat people the way you would want to be treated or have your family treated during your job. And I wish you a long, safe, successful career.
That's actually very good advice. I tell people the same thing, whether you're out talking to somebody in town, whether it's a health inspection or building permit, or they're coming to town hall or looking for services or programs, just make believe it's the mayor's mother you're talking to. Because what would that woman say if she was, and she called me and said, so-and-so did this for me and did that? Make believe you're dealing with the mayor's mother, father, sister, brother, or kid, and you'll always do the right thing if you're working as an employee in town. So congratulations. I also want to now ask Scott Kuzma to say a few words. He is, as I said, our new Chief Law Enforcement Officer, CLEO as it's called. I've known Scott for a long, long time. He was in the same Boy Scout troop I was. He's much younger than me. I was an adult leader by the time he was in Scouts, but I remember him just being this, kind of like I was, this little nerdy kid running around, getting every merit badge he could and doing every pride. I remember him collecting tires from the woods as part of a Boy Scout project to recycle, and you just remember him being a real caring individual. I was the same way when I was a kid. I was a nerd too, so I don't mean to be insulting nerds. But I think the world of Scott, and he's going to do a fantastic job as our CLEO. His mom and dad are very active in town. They're very active over at the Evergreen Senior Center. They're always around. He's lived here his whole life. So I'd now like to ask Scott Kuzma to say a few words.
Thanks, Mayor. Well, after that introduction, I'm not sure where I go from there, but I'm here. Congratulations. Welcome to the Woodbridge Police family. Welcome to the Woodbridge Township family, the officers and their extended families. You all committed a lot the time that your sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, husbands, wives were in the academy. We appreciate that. We appreciate them. I had some opportunity to interact with them through the hiring and background process. This is the cream of the crop. There's no one finer. So we appreciate that. The academy's done. Your career starts. 30 years of service, and you'll definitely serve us well. So congratulations. Thank you. A round of applause.
Once again, thank you for coming. And again, if you're a parent, a grandparent, a sibling, whatever you are, you should be proud yourself, too, to have raised and to have watched grow up somebody who could later on qualify for this prestigious position as an officer in the Woodbridge Police Department, the best police department in the state of New Jersey. Thank you.